magic button. Good evening and welcome to the Hemingway Jones live fountain pen show where we talk about, what do we talk about? We talk about fountain pens. What else will we talk about? Inks, journals and journaling, and just about anything and everything that's going to keep you inspired, keep you writing, keep you engaged with these wonderful writing instruments that we are so enamored with the inks that fill them and the paper upon which we write our dreams. We are the music makers and we are the dreamers of dreams. Just remember this. What happened to the person who suddenly got everything they wanted? They lived happily ever after. So welcome to everyone. Welcome to all the members. I am fired out of a cannon this evening. So much going on. We're going to do hot takes tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. I had to sort of hone some of my opinions, make it sort of pithy and interesting. I'm not going to waste a lot of time before we get to it because it is going to be a lot of fun. And it's December. And it's getting to be the middle of December. So I feel like we should be having more fun. At some point, I'm going to take a little time off. I think I've earned it. I mean, even television shows run a rerun now and then. I hardly ever take a Tuesday night off because I enjoy this so much. I enjoy our connection. I see you do too. I see all the likes going up. I appreciate that. It is the kindest audience. You guys truly are. You are the best and brightest. You are the kindest. You are the most expressive and interesting people I've encountered. And I appreciate it. I appreciate you spending this time with me each week because you don't have to. There's plenty of other things to do. And I do work hard to keep things interesting for you. So that's always my pledge. I'll keep it interesting. I'll always put up videos, have a slightly different point of view. And, I think there's something for everyone here. Journaling, inks, whatever. So we'll have a great time. All right, let's do a little bit of show and tell, and then we'll get to the main topic. So I bought this for my wife, and there's a bit of a theme tonight. So I saw this on social media, and it kept coming up in my feed. It's a reading journal. It's a lot more fun than my reading journal, which you may have seen from a few weeks back. I did a video on a reading journal, and mine was very nondescript, functional, interesting enough, but this one is so much fun. I asked my wife, I'm like, if I pick this up for you, do you think you'll use it? And she said the same kind of thing I did. She said that she wants to be able to read, recall, hold on to more of what she reads. That's my problem. I read something half the time, I forget. I mean, I am king of the malapropism, so I can sort of garble facts too. So she was super excited to get it. It looked really interesting. I'll show it to you now. Okay. So it's a goth reading journal. So it has really delightful descriptions. By the way, anything with a cat is going to attract my wife. So she loves cats, as you may know. But look at this. It sort of looks like gory a bit, don't you think? And you have all these different dedications, table of contents and things. Look at this. Isn't this great? How to use it. There's a page coming up. It's absolutely brilliant. I really love it. I'll show you. So this is sort of your days you read and all that. You can have different goals over here. All your days there. Try to keep it in frame for you. But this is my favorite page. Look at this. Isn't it super fun? So this is your library. So within the year, whatever time period, you can just sort of either write or recreate the spines of your book. And there's cats and skulls. Skulls and cats and a vase. What more could you ask for? Thanks for the likes, guys. I see them flying by. I really appreciate it. And what do we see here? I see a fountain pen. It looks a little Mont Blanc-ish, perhaps. So, literary challenges, titles. By the way, I am in no way connected to this. I literally bought it on a whim. So let me make that abundantly clear. I have no financial interest in this book. I just thought it looked interesting. And I think it was around $15. I don't know if the paper's any good. I haven't written a word in it. It will be my wife's to do so. But you can see all sorts of different things you can do. Titles, one-word summaries, beautiful art. So if you want to go the reading journal route, it might not be bad. Looks like it's from a company, Conquest Journals. Sort of like Conquest, but Conquest. So lots of fun. It's now Helen's, but I quite like it. And I'm really happy to have bought it for her. So I like to keep things interesting. I like to pick up little things for my wife. We're about to do a challenge, my wife and I, which I'm going to share with you soon. It's something I've been working on for a long time because it takes a long time to do it. And it's a comparison. I'm going to use something, she's going to use something within a defined time frame, and we're going to compare our experiences and make a determination as to which one was best. So it should be rather fun and interesting. Thinking about interesting and hopefully interesting, we did the thankful videos, as you know, and then we got a great video for this week. I think you're going to love it. And I'm really surprised that a lot of you haven't noticed it. And if you did notice it, let me know in the comments if you're watching this on replay or in the chat if you're watching right now. And thanks again for the likes, guys. But this is what happened. Did you know my backdrop has shifted? And it's been this way for at least a month and no one's commented. I'm rather disappointed in your powers of observation. Usually you guys pick up on every little thing. But this week's video is called My Library Reorganization Disaster. So my wife and I, we took every book down and we put them back in some kind of order. And we had a bit of discussion while we did. And you may recall that facing me is now a new wall of shelves. So it's not just what's behind me, it's what's in front of me as well. So those shelves are now pretty stuffed with books. And we organize and we put books back, and we made a mistake because we gave each other a time frame to do it while my daughter was at a party. Is it a disaster? Is it a triumph? Does it end my marriage? Okay, it doesn't, obviously. Nothing could. But it was, it's a lot of fun, and it's a fantastic video. If you like books and you enjoy Helen as much as I do, nobody enjoys her as much as I do. I adore Helen, no offense. But it's a lot of really fun back and forth, and us showing off, not showing off in like a showing off, but just showing our book collection as we reorganize and put everything back. So a lot of fun. I hope you enjoy it. And then next week, we get another original video on the Pelican twist and how it is not a toy. The Pelican twist is a postmodern design masterpiece. Nothing less than what you would expect from a Hemingway Jones video. It's on the design, and I compare it with a famous architect and designer. Not Gary. Gary would have been great, but someone else. I think you're going to really enjoy this one. That comes out next Thursday. So that's the show schedule. So I'd appreciate it if you check those out. I think you'll love the library one. Okay, I have something else to show you. And then we're getting into hot takes. Okay. So, getting back into social media purchases that were, what do you call them? When you have a purchase and it's sort of spur of the moment, impulse buys. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, I think it was me actually that came up with that. But you would have told me in the comments. You guys are smart. I appreciate it. So I bought this thing. It's not in here, but it was in here. But I bought it. Where is it? Here it is. So I was actually thinking of reviewing it tonight for you, because I have been using it for a couple days. I bought this crazy thing on an impulse. Oh my God, look at that. Oh man. I have complicated feelings. I'm a complicated person. I'm conflicted. I'm deeply conflicted. I have opinions. I feel like I should do a separate video. I'll show it to you a bit though. I'm going to try to do it and get it up soon so that you have something. Because this is all over social media. If you look at any fountain pen content at all, you're going to see this. And yeah, it's a pen. I can tell you that much. It writes. I'm going to tell you that much. Spoiler. It writes. Okay, there's your spoiler. But I'm going to get something up soon on this, a full review. I do have opinions. I do. And I'm working the narrative now. I love things like this. I love interesting, innovative things. But it's mad. This pen is mad. Maybe half mad. So, I have feelings and opinions. Coming soon to the Hemingway Jones channel. As soon as possible. I don't know how soon that is. It could be weeks. It could be days. I have a bad sense of time anyway. I don't know if you knew that about me. I'm terrible with time. I don't know how much time has elapsed half of the time. So my collection of pens is getting smaller. I have my Pelikan M1000, which consequently is empty. It used to be full of Maginot Eero. Now it's full of air. It's empty. I have my mystery pen, which you will see on the channel soon, which... so much to say about this. Coming soon. I'll give little peeks so those in the know will know. And then this. This is my bear. I've been using quite a bit lately. This is the Fine from Paris. Still has autumn oak diamine. Lovely. Lovely. Am I tempted to get the burgundy? I am. I'm tempted. Would I have gotten it if they called it Bordeaux? Probably. I'm shallow that way. I'm easily seduced by the word Bordeaux. But here's the thing about Bordeaux, and I'm going to comment about Bordeaux inks because I mentioned to you that I'm looking for some of the best Bordeaux inks, and I'm a little disappointed with Bellingham, even though I love Bellingham as a company. I find that the Bellingham Bordeaux looks brilliant when you first use it. It has like really nice dark, like sort of base, sort of grounding terroir, if I could borrow a term from viticulture. It has this earthiness on the dark spots, a terroir, if you will, tannins, just grounding into the paper. Love it. But then, after a while, you write, and it looks a little soupy, a little watery. I get disappointed. But I have it in my Egyptomania right now. Can I tell you how brilliant that is? It is a really good match for it. But it's not the one. Not yet. Not yet. Wasn't that the end of Gladiator? I will see you again. Not yet. Not yet. I like that. But I did order another one by Rome and someone. I keep forgetting. I need people in the comments to tell me which it is. Oh, thanks for all the likes. I see more thumbs. I must be doing something right for a change. Thank you. What do you guys think of the turtleneck? Kind of a different look for me. Very cold here in Massachusetts. Very, very cold. So, yeah, just that. Haven't found the right Bordeaux yet. Hoping to, and it will go in my Egyptomania, which I am obsessed with again. Though I have my mystery pen, my 149, my fountain pen revolution, which I found something fun to do with this. what I've been doing in my ledger book for the office, and I don't blur the line between work and play very much, but I'm going to tell you one thing I do at the office. I'll write notes to myself in almost the kind of script you would find for the Declaration of Independence, for something I cannot forget. So I might write someone's name or a concept, and it's in this sort of pseudo copperplate because I'm making no pretensions at being a calligrapher, even though I have in the past been accused of being the most pretentious man on YouTube, which I would wear as a badge of honor if it were true. And I don't think it is, because I've watched some other channels outside of the fountain pen world. So it can't be true, but I wish it were. I'll have to try harder. But I do that. So I'll write something very large letters at the top of the page. Now, the drawback is that it's easy for someone else to read if they're in my proximity. And some people will see it and they'll say, wow, that's absolutely gorgeous. And I say, thank you. I really appreciate that. Hello, sailor. It's probably a bit of a cliche. 1911L, also here, keeping company with me. Pilot Kakuno, just so you know, when I say I use these. It's here. It's always here. It's always here. That sounds mildly threatening. The Kaveco moleskin, I'm still kind of obsessed with this. It's red. It's fun. I'm flying through a lot of pens, I know. This, something you wouldn't expect to find on my desk, but here it is. You're going to see a video on this and others. You guys know what this is. It's a Varsity. Maybe it's a preppy pen, right? Well, you can't say it's a preppy pen. Varsity sounds preppy, right? But there's a platinum preppy, and we're just crossing. We're crossing brands with that. It seems wrong. Okay, so that's it for the quick show and tell. Let's talk. Let's talk, you and me. We should talk. You know why? Because we meet up each week. We have some nice conversations. We have some good times, you and me. And I feel like I'm fully committed to this relationship. I don't know if you are. I mean, I'm talking to you you haven't subscribed yet. I just appreciate. That's all I ask. I'm not too demanding. I do try to keep you entertained. If you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, just please do. It makes me happy. I'd appreciate it. And I promise to keep you entertained. Are you not entertained? I certainly am. I'm having a great time. I hope you guys are too. And consider becoming a member too. Pen Pal Group is going so strong. And I really appreciate everyone in there. John Manuel for helping me keep it organized. Kurt as a backup. Just really wonderful people. Thank you all. Sadly, I'm not going to be able to send Christmas cards this year. Time got away from me. I'm so busy. Never had them printed. So forgive me. But you'll get videos. So you'll get that. So there you go. All right. Let's talk some spice, some spicy takes. And I had to look up all these names of courses because I wanted to do this all organized and I wanted each to be a course. But I can't pronounce half of them, so I'm probably going to skip that. I was going to ask my wife, who knows these things. My wife is fluent in French. So there's something called a amuse-bouche, and it's a course. It's like a gentle course, and I thought it would be fun, but it's probably not pronounced that way, and I'm just going to look silly. But let's get into my hot takes, which I've worked really hard on over the weekend and into today. Even at the office today, I was doing bankerly things, and it was a very intense day. I'll have you know, both yesterday and today were very, very intense at my work. I don't know what it is, but it's been a lot, and it's fun. It's so fun and so interesting. But there's times when there's a lot of pressure, and I just can't believe the firestorms that just manifest in thin air. But I'm doing something, and suddenly I realize, oh, I didn't think of this one. And the first one was such a thing that came to me while I was working. And this is a hot take, but I think it's true, and I think I am uniquely qualified to speak on it. I should just blurt it out, but this is it. Every pen every pen looks better with age. Yeah, it really does. The only regrets, I have few regrets in the fountain pen world. I have a couple. I've bought a couple of pens that I regret buying. I've passed on a couple of pens I regret passing on. The only pens I regret buying are expensive ones that have let me down. Not other ones so much that felt like explorations. But one of my big regrets was absent-mindedly using Polywatch and Cape Cod metal polish, which, if I can do a quick commercial for myself, if you go to the description in this video, there is a link to my Amazon influencer page, and I make 3 cents for every purchase, but it does help support the channel, so I'd appreciate it. But if you're looking for Polywatch, you're looking for Cape Cod wipes, you can get them there. I do buy them, and I do believe there's a few mistakes I've made where I wanted to fix them. I use Polywatch. I scratched up one of my Mont Blanc pens that was new, and I didn't mean to, and I felt the regret that I had done it. So I used Polywatch and a microfiche, not microfiche. Microfiche is a little film that you look at back in libraries when I was a kid. Microfiber. And I polished it up, and it looks brilliant. It looked brand new again, as if nothing had happened. But what I regret is my old Mont Blanc 149 that my wife bought me when we were first together 12 years ago. We've been together for 13 years. Going absolutely brilliant. Best decision I made. But that pen had all the patina. It's not patina, it's patina. But I thought it'd be pretentious to say it that way, and I'm working hard to be the most pretentious man on YouTube. I guess women could be pretentious too. I better work even harder. So, yeah, that pen went overseas so many trips when my daughter was born, all this. And one day I think it was on a business call, whatever I was doing, and I shined it up and it looks perfect now. And I regret it. I shouldn't have done it. So every pen looks better with age, with wear, with scratches. If you regret the ones you put on because you did something silly and dumb, and you fix it with Polywatch, I support you. By the way, use that stuff at your own risk. I've been using it and I've had no issues, but I don't know. I don't use a lot, and I'm very careful, and I follow the instructions, and I always work it where it gets heat. I can almost feel like it's 100 degrees. I work it with a lot of friction. That's just me. That sounds kind of dirty, but you know what I mean? Like that onto the pen, and it just works really well. But there might be a pen out there it doesn't work on. So, so far it's been the resins, okay? So just be careful. It's not recommended for that use, evidently. I really don't know what it's for. It's for watch crystals. If you get a mineral watch crystal. This is sapphire, so it wouldn't work on this. Okay. My other hot take. We all buy too many inks. We do. It's okay. I'm buying too many inks now. One of the big disappointments that I have lately is buying a Bordeaux ink, only to see it be a type of red. Bordeaux is a type of purple. Right? So when it's kind of red, it looks more like a burgundy. I don't know, that's just me. Who's that? So, I feel like we do buy too many inks. I know for myself, I have a tendency of buying inks because I'm curious, and then I just swatch them and then I put them away. And then I end up re-gifting them to someone and passing them on. So I truly feel like we do buy too many inks. Even though, hey, if you're going to waste money on stuff, it may as well be like a $15 bottle of ink rather than a $1,500 pen that you may or may not use. So in the scheme of things, not the worst thing. But I do feel that We buy too many. We do. My other kind of hot take, and this is something that I see as someone who tries a lot of pens, reviews them for you guys and for my own curiosity, and that is that converters have really fallen off. That even 20 years ago, converters were so much better. They were like little serious fill systems. They were made out of glass, some of them, and metal, and they had really nice piston actions that felt precise. Now half of them, not more than half of them, even in very, very expensive pens, are made out of really cheap plastic. They don't all screw in. Some of them snap on by faith. Sometimes it just feels like they're just resting against each other. The pistons are terrible. Sometimes you see it flopping around in there. Ink sometimes gets above the valve that's inside. Sure, they can be cheap. You can replace them if they're bad, but some of those glorious converters of the 90s and the early 2000s, they were serious kit. They were just made from nice specs. They worked brilliantly. And many of them had glass that was of a certain color, or if it wasn't glass, a material that was tinted. So if your Bay State blue made it eternally blue, you didn't even notice. So I do feel that converters have really fallen off. And my other remark is that they're kind of too small in a way, many of them, certainly in the pilot world, but they don't seem engineered for holding maximum ink. They're more engineered for twists. And I think of something like the Con 70, which is actually a pretty nice converter for how it works, how quickly you can fill a pen, cleanly, efficiently. Could you scale that down to the size of something like a Con 40 with the same little push button? Perhaps. I'm not an engineer, but if it works in a large scale, could it work in a small scale? Quite possibly. So I just feel like the capacity could certainly be enhanced on these writing instruments of ours. I have to recognize someone who's helping to keep the lights on. Alex, plate, thank you. When I ordered Polywatch from Amazon, they sent me 2 clear money holder sleeves featuring Scarface. Themed, you did better. I mean, I'd rather have that than the Polywatch. I think that sounds awesome, my friend. But I'm sorry to hear that. I hope it wasn't through my link. But I am sorry to hear that. Polywatch is really good stuff for taking scratches out of any kind of plastic. It just works really well. But you have to get the heat going. Super chat from Rick Harsh. The lovely Rick Harsh. Thank you. What's he say? As Austin Power says, you are a sexy beast in the turtleneck. Thank you. That's hilarious. I appreciate it. Thank you. You know, one thing about turtlenecks, they kind of give you more of a heroic jawline. You know, it sort of covers anything going on there. So thank you so much, both of you guys. I really appreciate the super chat. You're helping to keep the lights on. I'm trying to keep it together. You know, I have to be relatively attractive for my lovely wife. So that's what I'm trying to do. It's not easy. I'm losing the war with time. In fact, here's a back update. I'm feeling much better. If you remember last week, I barely made it on the air with a terrible, terrible back. I am probably 90% of the way there. I'll have trouble getting up after the time we spent together, but I'm not in any sharp pain at the moment. So I'm definitely bouncing back. In a few days, I'll be my normal, jovial self. So there you have it. I gotta turn up my brightness. I can't read the comments. I'm actually talking to you this particular camera and angle is my MacBook Pro. That's how I do it. It's up on a box on my desk. And I'm talking to you through my MacBook Pro with my mic, which I finally learned how to use the right way. And then I have a preamp that it goes to over there, and it goes into my laptop. And then my phone is linked, and that's the second camera. That's my setup, just so you know. Okay, let's get back to the show. We have a lot of different tributaries that we need to explore along this river that we travel. Ooh, Like a Man is a Con 70 fanboy. You know, me too. I did say on the video from last week, I should have mentioned the video from last week, my final grail pen, and it might very well be my final grail pen, is my Pilot Custom Urushi. I don't have the appetite to spend that kind of money for pens. I really don't right now. I'd rather explore at the more affordable price points, at least for the foreseeable future. But you know me, I'll always be mixing things in, and I feel like the best fountain pen in the world is the one you have. But if you haven't seen my video on the Pilot Custom Urushi, please check it out, because it's interesting. You give the history. I'll tell you the link between Poison Ivy and the Pilot Custom Urushi. Who else tells you that? Come on, check it out. And along with that, has a Con 70 converter, which is brilliant, but I rather wish they had upgraded it or something. Made it a little bit more robust. It's a $1,600 pen. Nathan King, the lovely and talented Nathan King, who's been here for a very long time. Thank you, Nathan. $10 super chat. Thank you. I'm losing the war with time, aren't we all? Yes. Well, I'll tell you, I am making the most of the time I have. I really am. Thank you for your generosity, Nathan. I can get a little morose. I can get a little gloomy. It's interesting. I feel like, in a way, and I might write about this sometime, Nathan, I think that I know what it's like to live your life and not have children. I lived 49 years before Imogen was born. Then I had children. So I know what it's like to have children in my life and not to have children in my life. I know what it's like, or child, right? I only have one, unless you count the cat. I also know what it's like to feel like I'd never have one. And to me, and who I am as a person, I vastly prefer being a parent. I feel like much of my emotional growth is from marrying Helen and having a child. I feel like I would still be a big angry man child if it wasn't for Helen, and certainly for Imogen. So, but as she gets older, so do I. So it's kind of a little scary. It's a little bit like, I love seeing her grow up. That's my job. But it just reminds me too that I'm moving along. But you know what? I'd be moving along anyway. And now I'm moving along with this wonderful person that I get to spend time with. And, you know, they grow up to just be the most interesting people. Most interesting people. Love her. James. The wonderful James McNamara, 1837. $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much. I bought not one, but 2 Namiki pens after your recent video. Wow, good job. I appreciate that. You know what? If you think about it, send me a pic. Send me a photo of your 2 pens together, if it's not too much trouble, to HemingwayJones@mac.com. I'd love to see them. And thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Oh, you got 2 super chats, 1 for each pen. Look at that. Or did I just put it up twice? No, you did. Thank you. That's crazy. You're crazy. I appreciate it. Thank you. Helps to keep the lights on, the home fires burning. I appreciate your generosity. And you're not the only one, because I also have to recognize Daddy Rich with a $20 super chat. Thank you. Being a family man is the best. That's right, my friend. I really appreciate it. And thanks so much for the super chat. It changed me as a person. It really has. All right. I really appreciate it. Let's get into another spicy take. That probably isn't that spicy, especially coming from me. I personally feel that Waterman is criminally underrated as a pen brand. I love them, although I haven't tried all their pens. But I love the Karen. I need to try their upper level one, but it's triangular or at least faceted in some way. That's not really my preference. So I still should try it though. I rather wish they would bring the Waterman Edson back. I feel like if they did, they would rule the world. I love Waterman. I love that price point. right around $200 for a gold nib fountain pen that feels like $1,000 fountain pen. It's something that's aspirational, but won't break the bank like an $1,100 Mont Blanc, which is getting increasingly unrealistic, and the value proposition harder and harder to justify. But a $200 gold nib, elegant, beautiful fountain pen that writes brilliantly, yeah, I'm in for that all day long. By the way, guys, we're up to 500 comments in this chat. Thank you. It's brilliant. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the super chats. And thanks to all the members for being here. I appreciate it. So Waterman. Value proposition out of the park. Love them. You're going to see them more and more in this channel. But when they do garbage, you're going to hear about that too. All right, this might also not be such a spicy take, but I feel like it's true. I feel like no one can compare to Pilot when it comes to their lineup. Pilot is, I need a sports analogy, but I'm not a sports guy. I think you know this about me. I know almost nothing about sports, but I'm pretty sure that once there was a basketball team, maybe it was Michael Jordan or somebody, and it had all these star players on it. It was like a dream team. Maybe it was the Olympic team and it took from the NBA. I don't know. But I think you know where I'm getting at. When you think about Pilot, you start at the Metropolitan, the Kakuno. You have pens like the E95S, the Vanishing Point. Pilot owns that affordable gold nib category. They're so good at it with those two pens. You have the Pilot Custom 823, an absolute legend of a pen. The Pilot Custom 845, which might be perfect, might actually be more perfect than the PC Urushi, which is also absolutely brilliant. So many great pens. What a lineup. It's staggering to me, the brilliance of Pilot. And I don't know if there's another brand that compares with so many solid choices. Most brands that you think of have a flagship pen. Visconti has a Homo sapien. Some of the other ones are cool too, but you think of that. None are so iconic the way Pilot, just one after the other. Sailor has some great pens, but once again, can't compare to Pilot in numbers. Even Waterman, as much as I love them, no comparison to Pilot. Mont Blanc, half of what they make is utter, complete madness, sometimes in a good way. To me, Mont Blanc has a lot of classic pens, but it's all the Meisterstück line that you really think of. Pilot owns it. They own it. Let me know where I'm wrong, if you think I'm wrong. Okay, here's another one. I personally think that the cursive italic and the cursive smooth italic is the best grind. And there is part of me sometimes that wants to send every one of my pens to Kirk Spear. And with his waiting list, I'd probably get them back when Imogen is graduating from college. No, I'm just kidding. He's a popular guy. He's so good. I don't even know his waiting list, but I bet he's popular. But I don't think he has time to do my entire collection. But I could send some choice pens to him. He did such a great job with my Mont Blanc 149. But cursive smooth italic, I probably should have done that when I had that one fixed. Next time I'll be more adventurous. But I love that grind. I love what it does for your handwriting. It gives it so much character. So much, I want to say, interesting line variation through the entire stroke, not just up and down, but through the curves. And that, I think, is a brilliant thing. So I love that custom grind. And now let me sort of say something that's marginally contradictory to that. And that is that I personally think that Lamy's stub nib, its 1.1 stub, which they call their calligraphy nib, is one of the best off-the-shelf nibs that there are, period. Any model. Such a good nib, such a great writer, very sort of narrow stub with very sharp shoulders that gives you wonderful line variation. You can still write quite small with it. Chef's kiss, brilliance. Each time I rediscover it, I feel like I should be writing with it all the time. I love that nib from Lamy. Lamy, way to go. Hot take? Disagree with me? Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the chat. Celtic Zephyr, hello. How are you? $10 super chat, thank you. Speaking of, I just bought my first Oh My God pen, a lovely Vermilion Pilot 845 Yorushi. Look at you. I love, but my BP has risen significantly. Yeah, blood pressure on the price, you mean? I could see that. Thank you so much for your generosity and for the super chat. But I'll be honest, as you know, I own the Pilot Custom Urushi with Konpeki ink. It actually ran out. It's empty right now. But I'm going to refill it. It's not going away. I feel like your pen is probably better. I think the nib on this is more interesting. Don't get me wrong. But I feel like the dimensions of your pen, the 845, perfect. This is a little big. It's my opinion. Love it. Hey, is that a hot take? I think it might be, and it's spontaneous. Thank you. Thank you for the hot take inspiration. Pen Guy 281. Hello, my friend. $10 super chat. Thank you. I'm rounding up by a penny. Thank you. Guys, go get your Pilot pens now before the prices go up. Very good point. Thank you very much. Yes, Pilot is slated to raise their prices across the board. Prices are rising. All over. Imports are expensive. Materials are expensive. The economy is bad. We're in a bit of a pickle, guys. So hunker down. We'll get through it together. Writing and creating new things creatively. Thank you. Thanks for that super chat. I really appreciate it. Timely Behavior. Hello, my friend. $2.99 from Australia, I believe. Thank you very much. Mont Blanc JFK Blue Ink. Any good? Worth getting? Timely, I have to be honest, I don't know. I would never tell you yes, no, or anything else unless I know. I've never used it. I always wanted the pen. I love JFK. He's one of my style icons. But as for the ink, I just don't know. I'm really sorry. But I do appreciate the super chat. One thing about my channel, guys, is I don't pretend to know things if I don't know them. What was it? David Bowie, right? If she says she can't do it, she can't do it. She don't make false claims. I'm kind of like that. I don't claim to know something if I don't know it. Because I don't want to mislead you. You know, and it's stronger. You're a stronger person just saying you don't know. But I'll tell you what, you got me curious now. Now I want to know. So thank you for that. Here's something kind of relatively new, and I'll tell you a story along with it. This is the Fountain Pen Revolution Himalaya, $44. You can get these, buy one, get one. You can get them 10% off, worth every penny. I have permanent ink in here, permanent black document ink. It's not, permanent ink is great. It's not worth the trouble from my perspective. It's just that it gets on you and it's really tough to get off. And I'm a little bit messy, and there's not that many occasions where you really have to worry about somebody trying to wash your words away. You know, document ink is great, but like I'm in banking and half of what I sign gets immediately scanned. It's more that the signature's on there. They don't care what I write it with. It's duplicated. And they go in vaults when it is something original and then gets recorded somewhere. So I just feel like it's slightly overrated for some of the shenanigans that can happen. And I'm going to tell you a quick story. I recorded a video over the weekend you're going to love. It's on the perfect business pen. It's going to come out in February. So mark your calendars. While I was recording, I touched the pen. I must have touched the nib. You can see my hands. They grow inky. And I didn't notice until after I uploaded it. And I did such a good job. Forgive me for being immodest, but my whole spontaneity talking about the pen was inspired, and I didn't want to do it over. But my hands are covered in ink, and at one point I touched myself. I don't quite have a mustache. I mean, I could have had a Charlie Chaplin. That would have been very problematic. It's more. It looks almost like I have like I'm trying to think of something like a cut there, and it's inky. So, but I had to leave it. So that's coming up. So to me, permanent inks are not worth the trouble. Not for me. Maybe perhaps for you, but not for me, really. It's a bit of a problem. Another issue for me is flex nibs, guys. Flex, flex, flex. I love flex. I love to write my pseudo copperplate hand, but to be honest, it's exhausting after a while. I do it for a few lines. It's fun, and then I'm almost like, why did I do this? I don't enjoy it as much as I think. I feel like flex pens are kind of overrated. I think now if I'm looking at a flex pen, it has to be able to write normally quite well. That's going to be a deal breaker for me otherwise. And along those lines, and this might be my spiciest take, if it's like hot wings show, this is when they start to use the little bottles of hot sauce that are this big, and they start to, like, you know, be very effusive in their bodily fluids out of their noses and eyes and things. But I'm almost afraid to say it, but I'm going to say it. It's my it's and this is a safe space, right? It's us, just us talking. It's true, guys. I really feel that many Grail pens are disappointments. I do. It's kind of like every perfect pen is perfect for about a week. Every Grail pen is Grail for a few weeks. If you're hunting Grails, you just sometimes get into this loop of just either escalating from more expensive, which is not where it's at. It's not, in my opinion, and this only applies to me. And maybe you identify something with it. If you take issue, let me know in the comments and let me know in the chat. And I respect it. But I don't want to be on an escalator to more and more expensive pens. Even with my channel. This channel's never been about reviewing the latest and greatest pens. I don't want to be somebody who has to go buy them and try to, I have done this, try to make the video quick, get it up before other people do. That's just not the journey of this channel. This channel's about history and inspiration and following the line to where the line leads you. I've done that, and it feels very empty, and Grail pens can feel empty. You can buy the shiny thing, and then you realize it's just shiny and expensive, and it's not as good as a Pilot Custom A23 or a Watchman Karen. And that's why my Pilot Custom Urushi is probably my final Grail until the next one. But seriously. No, seriously. We'll see how it goes. But I'm trying to rein it in. Pull me back in. We'll see. Here's something interesting. And I'm going to keep rolling, but I do want to mention my video coming out this week. My library reorganization disaster. My wife and I think you'll get a kick out of it. It's slightly a departure from normal programming, but not really, because I do books too. Just rarely, but I think you're going to love this one. It's a lot of fun, and it's December. We need to have some fun. So that's this week, and if you've watched to this point, please subscribe. It's all I ask. It's not a lot to ask. It's a little button. I'll turn up on your feed. I'll entertain you. That's what I'm here for. Most of my favorite pens cost between $200 and $300. It's true, and that list is getting longer. Pilot Custom A23 is slightly out of that, but let's say begins with a 2 or a 3. That takes me up to $399. But do you see what I mean? It's just not a it's just not a necessity to spend a ton of money for a pen. Just to write and enjoy it. Even if you have like a Jinhao or a Kakuno, you're in this clan. That's all it takes. It doesn't take a lot to join this club. Okay, this is one thing I'm very surprised about, and you might feel differently. But I used to spend a lot of time in the watch world. As a matter of fact, the thing that got me thinking I could make fountain pen videos is that I was watching a lot of watch videos. And I was kind of like, do I make videos about watches or pens. Like at one point, maybe I'll do some watches and pens. And I've stuck with pens. I think I'm better at pens. But there's a lot of snobbery in the watch world. If it's not an AP or a Patek Philippe, or, even some people look down at Rolex. And if it's, not a Rolex, if you're wearing Tudor, people hate Tudor. If you're wearing Seiko, people think you cop out with Seiko, although most people kind of respect Seiko. But you get my point. There's a lot of snobbery. The fountain pen world, though, is, for the most part, devoid of snobbery. I've never seen someone say, oh, Lamy Safari is terrible and I kind of don't want that pen near me or something. Let's just write it out. Hey, I love it. $4.99 super chat. You're right. I've had my eye on a vintage Schaefer Legacy CP4, but I'm afraid of being disappointed. The guy wants $1,500 for it. Wow, that's rich, huh? Wow. Well, that's what's holding me back. By the way, thank you for your generosity. I really appreciate it. That's what's holding me back from buying the Mont Blanc Burgundy. I feel like I'm going to be disappointed. Mont Blanc's QC is terrible lately, and I don't want to buy it, spend all that money, and then feel that I blew it, that I got the wrong thing. So, thank you. Thank you for the super chat, and thanks for your perspective. So yeah, I do find that there isn't very much snobbery, and I'm really surprised. I really am. Wow. There's so many here. I might have to do a part 2. Yeah, I hate to open this door, but along with being disappointed with Grail pens is how many Grail pens just perform terribly. The Visconti Homo sapiens with bad nibs, the Mont Blancs with scratchy nibs and slow starters. So many pen disappointments out there. I've had problems historically with Jinhao. I'd love to be able to refer them, but more than half of the ones I buy are just really poorly crafted on the nibs. And if you know how to fix them, and I can do basics to get it from being scratchy, but it doesn't make me want to get someone who's starting in fountain pens to use one of those, because they would be thoroughly disappointed with them. I feel like my favorite fill system too is a piston fill, but I do think that we think they're cleaner than they are because you can't really tell, and maybe I'm better off that way. I am not overly concerned with cleanliness. I had someone I was chatting with on the DMs over at Instagram on my Bohem, and they were asking about some ink that was in the little plastic section toward the nib, and they're like, look, I got a little ink in there. What should I do? And I was like, is it hurting anything? I mean, so what? And then I looked at mine, and mine looks like, the worst bathroom in Scotland. If you remember Train Spotting. Yeah, I don't get too hung up on things. Sometimes my inks mix. I'm very irresponsible with inks. I can't be trusted with inks and keeping them straight. But I do love it. I love the spontaneity of mixing some inks together. So that's just kind of how I feel. This is actually a good point. Like a man, best advice for Visconti is buy it from a dealer or try it before they ship to make sure the nib is good. Exactly. And that's why I always suggest that you call up my buddy Brendan at Atlas Stationers, because he'll pull it out, give it a try before he sends it to you. And they stand behind their stuff. So I love my friend Brendan at Atlas. You get 10% off a Hemingway Jones, yeah. HJ10. HJ10. It's in the description. And I don't get anything for that. That's purely for you guys. I do some things out of the kindness of my heart. Timely behavior again. Hello. I don't have a Grail pen. I love my 149 VP and my 823. All three of those, my friend, are Grail pens. But I get that they're not your Grail. So, I can totally respect that. You have a great collection, though, and I respect it. So, lots of love for Brendan. Is everybody ready with the Christmas purchases? Have you bought all your friends their pens? You should buy them soon if you haven't. Get on that because I don't know when the shipping dates are up, but they're probably up soon. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this was the fastest hour I've ever spent with you, and I can say that without reservation. I had a blast. I hope you did. Please subscribe. Please check out my video coming out this week. Thank you all for being here. It means so much to me. I appreciate you all so much. So, much love. Take care. And I'll see you again. I promise. Further up the road. So thanks for all the super chats, the likes, the comments, all your interactions. I can't say goodbye. This is hurting me, but I need to go. My voice is going. But love you all. Take care. And we'll see each other soon.